Well, that's over 2 hours of my life I will never get back. Welcome to Bite Size Bunny, my name's Tony, and today we are going to be talking about Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter is the latest entry in Sony's Spider-Man universe that still has no Spider-Man, and thankfully it looks like it's gonna be its last. This movie's setup is so bizarre, but here goes nothing. Sergey and his brother Dmitri get picked up from school one day by their father, who is this big-time crime boss. The father, who's played by Russell Crowe, reveals to his two children that their mother, who he sent away due to her mental illness, has taken her own life. The father then proceeds to tell his children it's because their mother was weak and he's gonna take them out to show them what it's like to be a real man. So they go hunting, and they are hunting the deadliest lion that is in the wilderness to show how much of a man they really are. While they are trying to track down this mythical lion that no man has ever been able to best, the children eventually come across it, and like a doofus, the dad attacks the lion, failing to take it down, so the lion grabs a hold of Sergey and drags him off into the wilderness. As Sergey is fighting for his life to survive this lion attack, the blood from the lion mixes with Sergey's blood. Sergey is left deceased after the attack, and this little girl comes out of nowhere to give him a special serum that brings him back to life. Thanks to the special juice and the lion's blood now within Sergey's body, he comes back a changed man with super strength and various abilities. While Sergey is in the hospital receiving medical treatment, his father shows up and decides that he will no longer receive the treatment because that's weak, and the fact that he let himself get attacked by a lion in the first place was also weak, so he's going to come home. Sergey then runs away from home, becomes Kraven the Hunter, and decides to dedicate his whole life to hunting down people that are like his father, but not his father because he's still family. This movie is a dumpster fire on wheels, and I'm not gonna lie, at this point I just don't even care anymore. Let's start out with the positives. The cast tries to make this script work. There is an incredibly talented cast here. Aaron Taylor Johnson is a criminally underrated actor, and you can tell he is trying to make this material work as best as he possibly can. But when a script sucks, it sucks. There's only so much you can do with that. This is one of the most awkwardly paced films I've watched this year. There is no sense of time whatsoever. Things feel so disjointed that it barely feels like you're watching an actual story play out. It almost feels like you're watching someone that just filmed an outline. They also cram so many characters in this. I don't know who all has been confirmed for this movie outside of Rhino, so I'm not gonna spoil anything in regards to that, but they just feel like they are here to just be here. I'd say it takes away from Kraven's character arc, but it doesn't feel like that's actually the case. It really does feel like they are only in this story so they can pad it out. Especially Rhino, who serves as the film's main antagonist and has significantly more screen time than I was expecting. And the narrative itself, oh my lord. This feels like it was made by a teenager who was trying to be deep and just learned what toxic masculinity was for the very first time. They make so many half-assed attempts at having a meaningful theme and message, and it just doesn't work. Instead, it makes for some laugh-out-loud ridiculous sequences. It probably would have been better if they tried to make the most generic action movie possible, because the reality is it barely feels like they have the ability to pull that off. But hey, I guess that's what happens when you get the two guys that wrote Transformers: The Last Knight to write a Kraven the Hunter movie. The action sequences are pretty paint by numbers. They feel like something you would expect in a straight-to-streaming movie. So if you were hoping for some R-rated goodness, you might be let down. I never really felt like that R rating really elevated the project in any meaningful way. Yeah, it's bloody, it's violent, but there's no weight to it. And by the end of this journey, it doesn't feel like anything worthwhile actually transpired. Kraven's character at the end of this film feels the exact same as his character in the beginning of it. The only difference is now he gets to rock that sweet iconic vest in the last shot of the film. That's kind of the case for everyone on screen that makes it to the end. There is one character that leans into being an evil dipshit, but that's about as exciting as it gets. This is a completely forgettable movie that no one would be talking about about if it wasn't for the Kraven name attached to it. I'm talking straight to Redbox hot garbage that you watch, go, wow, that was trash, and then you never think about ever again. I would happily watch Madam Web or Morbius over this any day. But hey, at least the pain can finally stop now, and hopefully we can bury this universe in the deepest, darkest hole imaginable and never have to hear from it again. In the meantime, I'm gonna be giving Kraven the Hunter a 1.5 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff. And what's your least favorite entry in Sony's Spider-Man universe? I would love to know.